It's remarkable that something was developed in 1943, has survived all these years. This piece of work isn't just an art piece, it's a piece of history. They depicted the cadet's life from the time he started. His first shave, his haircut, drilling, barracks life, even some of the stage follies. Some of the cadets would sometimes get in drag and performances for the cadets. There was no aircraft strips or aircraft at all. After they left Saab and they were qualified for whatever field they were going to get into, then they would get into other fields where the aircraft were used. Now the Gremlins, they were a mischievous spirit, and they were blamed for anything that went wrong mechanically or electronically.
Like the city of Costa Mesa itself, which had such humble beginnings and has grown into the city of the arts, the murals show success over adversity. The Gremlins are everywhere, but still we overcome what the Gremlins do and we go on and we're successful. And I think it's a perfect fit to our community, what we've been through. Almost everyone can learn something from it.
The murals were a creation of John E. Otterson. He was a Bachelor of Fine Arts degree from Yale University. And he worked in Universal and Fox Studios from 1932 to 1942 and received Academy Award nominations, possibly as much as 8. But he was an extremely good, talented painter. He was in the service and he was commissioned, Sergeant John E. Otterson, to do something for the new Cadet Service Club, which was about to open, and the birthday of Colonel Robertson. He used a canvas that was actually shades, and I believe the media was oil-based.
I like to think, that it reminds us of World War II because it's painted on window shade material. And of course, this is a coastal area and we had blackouts in World War II. So window shade material was available on base and off base so people could put shades in their windows and have light on the inside and have no light on the outside. There are 2 murals, but each mural consists of 3 strips. 3 strips 3 feet wide. That's how you get the 9-foot width, and they're 16 feet tall. So a total of 6 strips, 3 each for 2 murals.
The murals, remarkably, were painted over a weekend. Like I said, he had the sketches to work with. He knew what he was going to do. He had assistants. 2 PFCs and 2 civilians, I believe, were used in the installation of the murals on the walls. They had to be glued to the wall. Shortly after war's end, the service clubs were transferred legally over to the ownership of OCC. The service club became a gym, and the murals, of course, stayed there.
Orange Coast College opened in 1948, and then the new gym, the current gym, Peterson Gymnasium, opened in 1962. So from 48 to about 62, it was the gymnasium for the Orange Coast College basketball team. We had classes like badminton, volleyball that met in the gymnasium.
Fast forward now to 1979. Ed Miller is writing another one of his famous local history books, the Saab story, the Santa Ana Army Airbase story. Ed thought it would be a great idea to have a picture of the murals in the book. In 1962, OCC had arranged to transfer the Gremlin murals back to the U.S. Air Force archives at Maxwell Air Force Base, while the building was picked up and moved over to what's now Vanguard University, and OCC went on to build their new gymnasium. Well, in contacting Maxwell Air Force Base, it turned out they didn't have any record of the murals at all. It was determined that the murals were at the Air Force Museum at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, Ohio. So Ed contacted the museum, and they wrote back a very nice letter saying, "We're sorry we don't have the staff to take the pictures for you. Would you like to have the murals back?" Oh, wow, that's really something, huh? And right after New Year's Day on 1980, the murals arrived. At that time, the Historical Society didn't have any place large enough to even open the box and unroll the murals. In '97, OCC expressed some interest in exhibiting those for the 50th anniversary, so we sent them over to OCC. The Society realized that OCC had the ability to exhibit them, so we put them on permanent loan in the Art Center, and they're there today.
A guy named Ted Baker, who used to be the Dean of Fine Arts here at OCC, he found a restorer who'd worked for the Getty Museum up in Los Angeles. And she built stretchers and stretched them out. She did minor repairs on the painting. She cleaned them and brightened them up. The blue that you can see in the front of the bomber there, that was really faded. And then some of the yellows and the brighter colors you couldn't see nearly as well. But now it has a real liveliness to it.
With the restoration of one of the barracks buildings and the development and opening of Heroes Hall, there was the thought that maybe the murals could be displayed there. But there just wasn't enough ceiling height, just not enough space. I said, well, you know, this is the era of digital photography. Why don't we go to OCC and take some high-resolution photos, and then we can make prints or copies, and they can be very realistic. They can be printed on canvas. Heroes Hall is opened, and the photograph of the murals has been turned into an element of their very first exhibit, and we're just thrilled and happy that that's happened. You have a noted artist who's here in Costa Mesa serving in the armed forces, the Army Air Corps, creates a work of folk art, and it's just part of our history here.
Everything that's depicted on these murals, the early cadets, those living today, can identify with an experience that they went through.
Some people don't know what they are. They think that they're cool. They have that retro look. It's symbolic of the history, and it's a picture into that World War II era, to the 40s, and you know, America's greatest generation that were here getting ready to go overseas to fight for the United States.
I'm really glad that we get a chance to talk about it a little bit and give people a chance to understand that journey and to understand a little bit more what the murals are all about. I think it's a big win for the people of Costa Mesa.